Is this the same as yours? Because there's a couple different versions. Yes. Yes, okay, good. So corresponding angles are always congruent. That is false. They're not always. There needs to be the statement made that they're parallel, the lines that are being cut. So these could be corresponding. So that's false. So 1 mark each, okay? Consecutive interior angles are complementary. Most definitely false, even though it doesn't mention anything about. But complementary, what does that mean? It adds up to 9, right? Angles that add up to 90 are complementary. To remember this in life, it's right. It's the right thing to complement someone. It's the right thing to do to complement someone. Right is 90, complement. So, I don't know. That helps me, because even I have to think sometimes. Vertically opposite angles are always congruent? Yes. It has nothing to do with lines being parallel or not. When 2 lines meet like this, the vertically opposite is always true. Okay? Sum of interior angles in a triangle are always supplementary? Yes. They always add up to 180. That's what supplementary means. If 2 lines are parallel, then the alternate exterior angles are always congruent. That is true. If consecutive interior angles are congruent, then the 2 lines they lie in between are parallel. That is false. Congruent is not what we're looking for. Supplementary, right? That's what we're looking for. So that's why that is false. Consider the diagram to the right and then name the following angle pairs. I hope you were able to find them all. A and B are supplementary. A and B. Straight angle, if you put that one down, yes, because I did say anything that gives me the notion it adds up to 180, I'm fine with that. A and G here, alternate interior. DH, consecutive interior. CD, vertically opposite. C and E corresponding, right? They correspond. GF, alternate exterior, okay? Corresponding is A and F. Where's A and F? AF. So remember, our brains, we can't handle more than two parallel lines at a time, right? Let's just put it that way. So whenever you're like this angle and that angle, then just these 2 lines, forget about all the noise in between, okay? But they are corresponding. Also 1 mark each. So give yourselves a mark out of 7. This is 6, right? So a mark out of 6. I'm just going to go over the key because the whiteboard is going to take away time. So normally I would work this out. But first of all, let's focus on finding x first, right? Solve for x. So we know that these are alternate interiors, so this expression is going to be the same as that expression. And I know it's in brackets, you haven't seen that, but really it's just saying, right, this package is the angle. So we make them equal to each other. I bring the x over to this side, right, and I bring all the constants to this side. So the 9 turns positive, the 63 turns negative, right? So I'm bringing everything to one side. Then I combine my like terms to get negative 27x. And then you get negative 81 on this side. And then you want to divide by negative 27 on both sides. So you know this is going to be a positive here, right? 81 divided by... If you get a decimal, I'll tell you this already. If you get a decimal, it's not going to be some weird repeating decimal. It's going to be 0.5 is okay. But normally I make it to be a round number. Just because then it's, if you have decimals, then you plug it in, you're going to get a weird angle, and it might not match, okay? So I will say this, I'll change the grading a little bit. If I see that you're equating them, I will give you a mark already for that. So it's going to change our total, yes. If you then go ahead and solve this correctly, you're going to get another mark. So my guess is that a lot of you did this, but you somehow made a mistake here. So you get 1 out of 2. So this part right here is 2 marks on its own. Okay? When you get x, then you find a and b. How so? Well, remember, a and this one, they're vertically opposite, right? So I can technically say that a is equal to whatever this is. So plug in x into 36x minus 9, right? You plug x in here. That's A. And B is also going to be 99. How so? Well, what are these two here? They're corresponding, right? Or you can say B is equal to this, which if you plug X in here, you're also going to get 99. So there's many ways to come up with the 99s. And of course, if you got X wrong, you're going to get a different answer here. So as long as you're consistent, you will still get half for each of those. So we'll change our total here and make it out of 3. So if your arithmetic went wrong, we're going to go -1. So you get only 1 out of 2 here. But then if you use this angle correctly and plugged it into the expressions, and whatever you get here, we're just going to honor it. But they should be the same. Okay? And so 3 here. So that makes this page out of 16, not 15, because of that. So I'm kind of changing it up here as I go. And it is what it is today. Just learn, okay? And I'm going to post this later, so if you need to kind of slow me down and do it at your own pace, that's fine. Let's go to the back side. This one I will do with you, okay? So 1 mark for each. I usually go half for the angle, half for the correct justification. So I noticed that parallel lines are present, so this one and this one, okay? If you don't get it right today, that's fine, okay? So I kind of see if I go this transversal and I travel along that transversal and I hit the other parallel line, right? Forget about the noise. This 27 actually comes over here. This one and this one are alternate interior. So this is 27, and then you just say alternate interior angles are congruent. How else could you have found A? There's another way. Yes, if you found D, right? D is right next to 137, so that's 43. And then you use sum of triangle to find A, that is also okay. So I will go slash sum of triangle is equal to 180. So either one would be fine here. So maybe you didn't do it in this order. That's fine. Just tell me where you start. I started with A. B is right up here. This one may have been a bit challenging, but I don't know if you remember this transversal, follow it to this other parallel line, and then you figure out what is this one and this one. Corresponding, right? So I can say that B is 137, so its corresponding angles are congruent. And yes, maybe some of you found C. We know that C is 110, right? That's basically the only way to figure that out. Some of you got creative probably and figured out a different way, but this is vertically opposite. And maybe some of you said, hey, there's another triangle here. I will add these two, subtract that from 180 to get this, and then I'll figure out B. That is fine. Just make sure whatever you do, make the work appear somewhere on here. If you want to put arrow down and say, right, I figured out that one because of sum of a triangle is 180, that's fine. The reason why I like the table is because it kind of cleans it all up and it puts it all in one place for me to mark. Okay? Organizes your thoughts. So what else? What else is missing? D here, sum of triangle or straight angle, whichever one. So sum of triangles equal to 180 or straight angle is equal to 180. Either one of them is fine, and that would be what? 43. So you get half a mark for each correct number, half a mark for each correct, so that's why it's out of 4. So don't leave those blank. You would be surprised what you can get out of it. Next. For each of the following, indicate whether or not the lines are parallel. You must provide an explanation. So here you would say parallel because corresponding angles are congruent. Sorry, it's a bit, looks like chicken scratch there. This one, not parallel. You can even use the notation there because alternate exterior angles are not congruent. So you just say that. And here you have to do a little bit of work. First you find A. A is 180 minus 59 minus 64. So I kind of set it up for you. Where's my key here? That's 57, right? I'll give you a mark for that. So if you figured out 57, you get a mark for that, and then you notice that these two are corresponding. So sometimes students have a problem when it's a closed shape and lines don't keep going. Here, full license to do this. If this makes your day, okay, if you need something like that to see everything, then go for it, right? But I can tell that this is corresponding, so parallel, because corresponding angles are congruent, okay? So that's gonna get you another mark there. So 2 marks for this one, 2, and this is 1.5, 1.5. No, yeah, sorry. This is 1.5, and this is also 1.5. So usually the way I go is if you guess this one, that's half a mark, and then 1 full mark for the actual explanation. Because being parallel or not parallel, that's like rolling the die, right? Like you can just guess on that one. This one tells me you know a little bit more than just guessing. Okay. So this backside is worth 9 marks. And then, so we're gonna go add up 9 and 16, right? I told you 16 for the front, 9 and 16. So that is 25. So at the very top of your handout, cross off the 24. I'm notorious for that. Almost every AC, whatever mark is up there, changes slightly because I sometimes change it on the fly there. All right, so name and last name on there. Add it all up, put a mark down. If you're not sure, tell me, but put a mark down anyways. And facing down, I don't want your name to be up. Facing it down, you're gonna pass it forward in your row, so it's easier for me to hand it back to you. So if you're somewhere up front, just turn around and expect papers coming your way, okay? If you have questions, ask me later. I will address them, okay? Any questions, ask me later. Feel free to ask. Don't be shy. All right. For now. Yeah, pass them forward. I'll pick them up in a bit. So